Okay, everyone, welcome back. Okay, we are trying something in the login view. So we wanted to replace the sign-in request with sign-in view model. So sign-in request was right, working fine. So sign-in view model will let's see if someone has done the example for us. Okay, view models. Did change pass-through subject. Okay, this is a good example. Next we will implement article list view model. This view model is responsible for reflecting contents of entire screen. We'll also utilize web service, retrieve all the recent articles. Okay, that's what it is doing here. It will fetch all the articles. Web service, load top headers, articles. Okay, they are not using the data task publisher. This is, it will conform to bindable object. Okay, this means that it can publish events to subscribers and can be binded to views on the screen. Only requirement of binary is to implement did change event. It will notify the subscribers of the new data that is available. We make a web service articles. Once we receive the articles, we assign it to this, fires the did change, passing in the self. Is in articles view model. Okay, so this is the articles view model. This never dies. Okay, this is the one. So what it says is, once you do bindable object and when something changes here, so you do a did change send self, so that means it did change and you send the object itself. Okay, so this happens when this executes. Okay, we change it in the fetch top headlines function. We make a web service one service. Okay, now only thing left to do is make sure the articles are displayed on the screen. Let's see how to do it in the Swift UI. So here is the view model which we are binding. Model dot articles. Okay, so now since for us this entire function is a separate backend, because this is tightly integrated code, this is highly coupled code where web service and the view model are tightly coupled, so we don't want that. We want to separate out this part. So whenever view model wants to fetch, if there is no, so that's the next plan. So whenever there is no internet, instead of this we need to fetch from the core data. So what we will do is we will make this as bindable object I think this needs combine. Not sure. Use of bindable object. Okay, we need to give a did change, and we'll make this as sign in model. Okay, and now this is the request class. We don't want this for now, so what we will do is hmm, but we need observer there, so yeah, we can't get rid of that. Whenever that change happens, how do I observe it here? So we solved one part. Is there a did change for this? Sorry, did set for this. Request changed. Okay, so I had to take a break. So, okay, did change, did set, will this work? Okay, bindable object. So why is bindable object not seen? What do we need for bindable object? Or is it binding object? Is it binding? Did they change it to binding? Insert any type. What does okay, bindable object. Okay. Replaced with observable object protocol from Combine framework. Okay, so this is the same. Use of non-class type. Okay, this has to be a class. Okay. Class has no initializers. Let's satisfy this. Anything else? Returns without initializing stored property. So it needs initializer because we didn't sign in request. Did set observed object. This is a class. Again, this is observable. Pass through subject. So did set. And here I need to did change dot send self, right? So that's what they are doing. So now in the Swift UI, once this is done, they're not doing anything special, but whenever the model changes, everything falls into the place. So in the login view, in the button, so in the button action, when I click sign in, this has to propagate, wait for the async call. So we need a loading screen here. We need an activity indicator. So what we will do is observed object. So we'll have another at published where this would be the result sign in response. We had one sign in response. Yeah. At published sign in response, and This is a struct. Okay, we don't need sign in response, we need whether login successful. This should be a bool, and let's just set it to false. Login is not successful. Okay, is login successful? Then we will have a token is nothing but a string. For now, let's just keep it an empty string, and then we will have expires in time. So these are all I'm confused to whether to keep this entire object. No, we should not, because when we are publishing, so what happens, I will tell you. If we publish the entire object, then whoever asks the view model, so if we have an object of this in the view model, suppose at publish and say where sign in response, and if I say sign in response, okay, so whenever someone accesses the view model and wants to get a token, he has to go inside sign in response. That means he has to know the object which is accessing this will know the internal structure of this, which is not right. So view model should be responsible for doing that operation. So this person will extract this, set this, and it gets published. So that's if we, this is fine. I doubt now if we need this. We might not need this because we are looking for this, and we need not send this did change, correct? So I don't want to send this, I don't want to send this. I just, once I do this sign in request did set, observed object. Is there any other way where observed object did set? Swift UI. What do we want? We want to know when something changes in this, so we want to catch it in the did set. So Swift UI observed object did set. Not working. So observed object where VM test model. Okay. No, this is not what. That's a property observer. I can run an action when the state changes. Is there an alternative for did settings 50y add published array struct view observed object var struct? Okay, I think I want to change the name right after I get the user. Okay, so someone is doing the same thing. Good. Did set does not work. Good, I saw this, otherwise we would have debugged a lot. Is there an alternative method for this 50y? So he has a struct person. Wow, it's just exactly what we are facing now. We are having observable object. I am publishing this in the view observe object user did set name. Okay, but it's not setting. If I correctly understood, you are having your code couple of options to reach. Set up the created user in the init property created before. Okay, set up a view on the appearance on appear. Okay, sorry, that's not what I expected. I test the below code, it works perfectly fine. Let's just check it then. So sign in request. So in the sign in request we are observing the result and request dot result case success, let response, case failure, let error, print e dot localize description, sign in response. So self dot is login successful equal to true, self dot token is equal to response dot token, and then expires in is equal to expires in. Okay, must be exhaustive, add missing case, none, print unknown, sign in response. Done. Hopefully this gets called, I doubt. Okay, so let's build. No arguments taken. Yeah, sign in request. Is logged in. Okay. How do I get out of this? So what did I use to get out of this screen? We need to set it. So if this works, oh, we need to at observed object where is login success bool. So here if I say did set, then self dot is logged in equal to is log success observed property. Has to be the same name. Oh, okay. Build succeeded. Let's see if this prints. Sign in view model did set. And where are we? Okay, sign in request changes. Sign in request. So we know this works. We are publishing the result. And sign in view model. Fully. Let's see if it works. Okay. Okay, NS error. Oh, we need to start our servers. So let's start our servers. CD into backend and then nodemon server.js. Get started. And let's Okay, cannot start the load of the task since it is not confirmed to ATS. Okay. Network, it's not a network extension. Okay, there is some key here which we need to add because it's a local server, so it doesn't start with HTTPS and ATS warning error in Xcode to access HTTP sites. So basically what happens in Xcode, if you so let me explain. So now this is HTTP colon slash slash localhost. So now what happens is when it is HTTP, it's not secure. So the ATC policy, the application transport security policy, does not allow me to access any HTTP sites from my application. Now for my application for my application to access any HTTP sites, I need to whitelist this in the info.plist. So here I need to add some flags. So I'm searching for the flag. So there is some flag. Yes, here it is. App transport security. So here example.com, this is the exception domain what I need to add. So what I'll do is I need to see this in the raw format. Editor, raw, view. There is show in raw format. There was something called raw format. Oh. Okay, let's go here and see whether there is a raw format. No, NS transport security. Okay, NS transport security, it's a dictionary. Now I'm having arbitrary loads. Yes, so arbitrary loads equal to yes. So next key would be exception domains. Domains, this is again an array. So key would be HTTP localhost colon 3000 would be the key, right? And value would be boolean say true and include subdomains. Again boolean say true. So true, it's a dictionary for key. Localhost, exception domains. Okay, so let's clear out and run it again. If it this doesn't run, then I need to clean my simulator build. So I need to tap again, docs, okay, we received the request, received completion, success, so this is right. Okay, now that we got the token, but it didn't come back to the view model, so this didn't print. Received login details is done. So this is there in the sign in request. We got this successful, we got all the details, but problem is we didn't get this here, so did set is not working. So what we need to do, observed object in view model, so let's search for that. Let's refine our search query. No, I don't want property observers. Okay, let's go through this. What is the difference in observed object state and environment object? State is inevitable in modern app, but Swift UI it's important. Simply function of the state, we cannot change the views directly, but instead manipulate this. Let that dictate the result. So okay. This creates a property inside the view, but it uses the state. State is great for simple properties that belong to specific views. I want something for non-view objects. For complex properties, when you have custom type, you want to use might have multiple properties and methods and might be shared across. Use observed object. This is very similar to state, except now we are using an external reference type rather than a simple local property like string or integer. Whatever type you use with observer should conform to observable. Yes, this we have done. Property should force. There are several ways for an observed object to notify the views, but the easiest way is to publish property wrapper. Okay, you can use the custom publisher from the command framework if you need more control. Custom publishers, but realistically this will be very rare. If observable object happens to have several views using its data, Either option will automatically notify them. But where do I take the action? So my point is I need to take the action somewhere once it is changed. Since state, both of these two must other views. Third type on one. That every view can read it. So if your app had some important model data that all views needs to read, you could either hand it view to view. No. Swift UI observed object. I don't want communication between model and oh wow. I have been experimenting with MVVM model that's used in SwiftUI, and there are some things I don't quite get it. SwiftUI uses to detect the changes and trigger the recalculation of the body property to update the views. In the MVVM model, that communication between the view and the view model. What I don't quite understand is how the model and the view model communicate. Okay, when the model changes, how is the view model supposed to know that? I thought about manually using the new combine framework to create publishers inside the model. We did that. However, I created a simple example which pretty tedious. I think there's a model called game that holds an array of game characters. A character has a strength property that can change. Okay, so what if the view model changes the strength property of the character? To detect the change, the model would have to subscribe single character of the game. Okay, somewhat similar to our or is my example not properly following MVVM? Please don't say I think the view model probably from the model doing this habit. Model doesn't have to communicate with the view model. In fact, I think it shouldn't at all. That's probably what MVVM is about. Both views are synced when making the changes. class my game observable object struct characters, so private set characters. Okay, this characters is published. Now character list is a view. Is a view model. View model is a observable object again. So object will change pass through subject. Where my game. Okay, my game is the model. Increasing the strength. Okay. So view is who is creating this view model? They are using environment object here, and my game is created with the characters, preview characters here. Okay, not much helpful. Okay, we have gotten to the point where we are able to make a sign in request and then fetch the response. So this is done, one step progress. But thing is, are we getting this MVVM thing right, or is it entirely wrong? So according to the diagram given here, the flow of data should happen from view to view model to model, not the other way around. We are trying this one, which is not right. So I hate this. Why do they give this? Help make no, restrict usage tracking, yes. Choose this option, prevents us from tracking the usage of our site. Will still place cookies. Save my setting and go back. Okay. Learn at home. Getting started. An introduction to MVVM pattern. Controller. Okay, this is MVC. Okay, this is MVVM model. Cool. Lightweight views. Okay, this needs time. Let's just put this MVVM combine Ray Vandelich. Okay, let's just get to this tomorrow. Hopefully I will stream again tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. Till then, see ya.